I've been shaping a style of my own. I call it 𝘽𝙧𝙪𝙘𝙧.
The way of the intercepting fist. Simple words, but deep meaning.
No style, yet all styles. Adapt, flow,
Good.
like water.
As long
Your timing is sharper, but you tense at the finish.
I try to end with power.
Power comes from being loose, then exploding. Flow first, strike second.
Understood, Seafood.
Good. Again tomorrow with a soft...
Hey everybody, it's Beerdy here. What's going on, guys? Okay, so you all know about Ip Man, the legendary martial artist, a real true Wing Chun legend, and also Bruce Lee's teacher. Now, we have to go back to the 1950s, and Ip Man is training Bruce Lee, and they're going at it basically every day. And they do this for years and years and years until Bruce Lee becomes one of the best Wing Chun practitioners in Hong Kong. But there also was a problem here, because Bruce Lee was not satisfied with just learning Wing Chun. He wanted to expand his horizon. He wanted to learn different styles from different schools, different philosophies, and Ip Man was opposed to this. As a matter of fact, Ip Man directly ordered Bruce Lee to not train in other styles or other schools. Okay? And this did not sit well with Bruce Lee. So Bruce Lee ended up going behind his master's back, and he traveled around China, around Hong Kong to different schools, meeting different masters, sparring with different students, learning new styles, learning new philosophies, and he did this behind Ip Man's back. And this went on for 2 years. And when Ip Man found out that Bruce Lee had been doing this, he confronted him. And at this time, Bruce Lee was in his late teens, and he was one of the most complete martial artists in the whole of China. So years pass by, and Bruce Lee becomes more and more of a complete martial artist. And he did this for years, and he did it behind Ip Man's back. Now, guys, we have to remember, what Bruce Lee did was insanely taboo. Okay, it was frowned upon to go behind your master's back like this and to learn different styles, to go to different schools, new teachers, new techniques, new philosophies. All of this was extremely taboo. But Bruce Lee was a groundbreaking martial artist. This is what makes Bruce Lee Bruce Lee. What he did these years in China and Hong Kong was what developed him into the complete martial artist that we know, okay? So Ip Man finds out what Bruce Lee has been doing for all of these years, and he confronts him. And he says that, you're no longer my student. I'm not going to teach you anymore. What you've done has, disgraced my school, disgraced me, and he basically kicked him out of the school. But before he kicked him out of the school, he basically confronted Bruce Lee and said, who do you think you are? What have you supposedly learned while going behind my back? Show me what you supposedly have become, this complete martial artist. Because he wasn't buying any of the stuff that Bruce Lee had been learning. He meant that his Wing Chun was the be-all and end-all of martial arts. So what Bruce Lee had been doing was not good, according to Ip Man. It was a waste of time, And that's when they had a fight. And the fight didn't last long. Bruce Lee completely annihilated Ip Man. And Bruce Lee wasn't even going in 100%. This was Bruce Lee at 10%. And remember that Ip Man was old when this happened. So Bruce Lee didn't have to go more than 10% to beat Ip Man anyway. So it didn't matter The fight didn't last long. It wasn't an interesting fight. It was basically Bruce Lee just showing Ip Man that this is who I am, this is what I know, and I am now a complete martial artist, and you are not. So they ended up separating without being on good terms. And that's when Bruce Lee traveled to the United States. And the two of them basically split up, and nobody knows if they had contact later or not. I've tried to dig around, to try to find more information about Bruce Lee and Ip Man in the later years, but I couldn't find anything. So it looks like Ip Man and Bruce Lee split up for good after this incident. And I understand Bruce Lee because Ip Man was an old school martial artist. He meant that Wing Chun was the be all and end all of everything that is martial arts. And Bruce Lee completely disagreed with that. Wing Chun was important. It was the foundation for Bruce Lee's martial arts, and it was a great stepping stone to other martial arts. But just constraining yourself to one style, that was not Bruce Lee at all. And in fact, Ip Man told Bruce Lee that he shouldn't do boxing because remember, Bruce Lee was a world-class boxer, and he did that behind Ip Man's back because Ip Man didn't even want Bruce Lee to do simple boxing, okay? That's how old school Ip Man was. So I understand the split, and I mean, they could have been friends, but unfortunately it didn't go that way. But I mean, anyway, Bruce Lee has to be grateful to Ip Man for teaching him the foundation of Wing Chun, and not only that, but the philosophy of Wing Chun, which is the foundation of Bruce Lee's philosophy in Jeet Kune Do. So yeah, there you go, guys. Bruce Lee and Ip Man had a fight. It didn't last long. Ip Man got taught a lesson by Bruce, and I think that Bruce Lee did not want to beat Ip Man that way. I don't think Bruce Lee enjoyed that whatsoever, but it's his way of showing Ip Man that there's a whole world out there with other martial arts, and look what I can do. Look what I can do to Wing Chun. I can annihilate Wing Chun. So there you go, guys. Thanks for listening. See you guys later. Bye.